Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero, and I am here with Caleb Lawson.
Hello.
And we are here to do a quick rewind theater for Bayonetta 2's Did You Miss Me trailer.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit of the details that you might have missed in that trailer. The beginning here is just obviously catching you up on the events of the first game, the conflict between the witches and the Lumen Sages. Actually, started off as a great first place to pause. That is Father Balder.
Okay.
Who you might remember from the first game is the last Lumen Sage, but he's also Bayonetta's father.
Dum dum dum. Spoiler. So, following that, we have
our first glimpse of the new game.
Yep, and she's performing her summon sign before her new weapons kind of come into the fray. So they're called Love is Blue, but from what we know, they have a sort of similar function, at least from what we could tell, to Scarborough Fair.
Well, 2 in the hands, 2 in the feet. Let's see how that plays out in gameplay.
Yeah, and I love the new look, by the way. She looks great.
Oh,
so
I
this
agree,
this could be perceived as an opening cutscene. You see her kind of going around there for a second before we cut to
straight
gameplay.
into gameplay. She's got the Wicked Weaves going again. There looks like Gamora probably, and Madama Butterfly, I think.
And she's in Umbran Climax mode here because you can tell she can summon Wicked Weaves and summons pretty much at will as the magic meter drains underneath her health bar.
She's obviously super powered from the beginning of the game, so maybe those powers go away, potentially.
Maybe. Yeah, or they just continue to build. That's a good point. Rodin, we've seen him before. Rodon or Rodin?
I'll call him Rodin, sure.
Okay, sure, let's go with that. So he was the arms dealer from the original game. He runs a club called
Gates of Hell.
Thank you.
And this here looks like a weapon, probably.
Yeah, probably. I would guess a spear just from the opening at the bottom, but it's always tough to tell. You're never quite sure.
But if this guy's back for the same reasons, he's going to be the one supplying new weapons throughout the game.
I wonder if Father Rodin will be back. That's a good question. But anyway, back to this awesome cutscene.
And more gameplay.
Yep.
I love just watching this gameplay slowly because you can really see how smooth it is.
Yeah, no, we're looking at this trailer at 60 frames per second earlier, and it's absolutely jaw-dropping. Here's
Who's
Luca.
That? Luca?
Yeah,
Tell me about Luca.
Is a journalist who is out to expose Bayonetta. He had a death in the family, and that sort of affected his view on the world.
Yes, his father was killed by Father Balder.
That's right. So you'll see he's back in this one, so it makes you wonder. He was also called the Cheshire. Danny DeVito's back. Not really. That's Enzo, who is Bayonetta's sidekick.
And this kid, we don't know who this kid is, do we?
No, we don't at all. He was seen at the end of the first trailer. He's just sort of the mysterious child, essentially, but he could fight.
Do you think maybe a Lumen Sage, possibly?
Maybe. From that aura there when we went through slow motion, we were kind of wondering, can he be? Like, is he also a Lumen Sage?
Because they're sort of known for their yellow color, whereas the witches are kind of known for their purples.
Yeah, definitely light versus dark, and it would make sense as a light warrior, but it's hard to tell right now. Bayonetta has come to this mountain because it is sort of the apex of a bunch of realities, basically the connection between Paradiso, current reality of Purgatorio, and then Hell. And that ties into Inferno, that's right. And it's tied into the story of why she's here.
Yes, apparently we're going to be going into Inferno, and we'll get to that again in a sec.
For sure. And so, he's kind of surprised Bayonetta can see him because he's in Purgatorio, which, if you know the rules, is another realm within our world, essentially, where these demons like to fight.
Right.
And look at that. Oh, man. That looks really good.
Do you want to see it in slow motion?
Absolutely.
Or in reverse?
These transitions, if they are as good as they look, which they seem to be, oh, man.
Oh, that's all real-time gameplay.
Yeah, it just ripped up the entire street in front of me.
I love, if any of that, level deformation actually makes it into the game, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. So this
this is big, too.
Yeah, this kid is a second playable character. And you see them both being chased by the same type of boss. First the child, and then, it looks very similar.
And here we are back to verse 1 again.
Yep. This looks so crazy. Like, I don't even know what's happening.
Reminds me a bit of the vehicle sections from the first game. So here's the thing that made us kind of wonder, maybe he's not a Lumen Sage?
Yeah.
He clearly has power of some sort. But
yeah, he could be something else entirely, and maybe a hybrid of the two. It's hard to really know.
This is a Lumen Sage, though.
Yep. This is the masked Lumen Sage, which... you thought they were all gone after the first game. But
right? Father Balder is supposed to be the last one, so who's this guy?
Yeah. And really cool fight, really cool cutscene.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through this gameplay really slowly because you can see so much here.
Yeah, so they can summon through light abilities. They summon their own kind of demons or, helpers. In this case, it looks like the big shoe that Bayonetta can summon out. But if you look closely, it's actually one of the dragon heads from, it looks like Fortitudo. But it's hard to tell.
Oh, yeah, you can totally see the mouth right there.
Yeah, as it slowly retracts, you see more of that.
So Lumen Sages, they summon their creatures from Paradiso, obviously.
Yeah.
light magic.
Yeah, they have their own peeps.
It's like Bayonetta does the into witch time, the quick dodge.
Yep, which is, you go to town, but nope, there's a stun animation.
Animation there is awesome.
Yeah.
Really okay, cool. Umbran Climax. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so right here, you see her using a bow weapon, but when she activates Umbran Climax, it's kind of like, Caleb, you had the better description for it, kind of like an overdrive.
Well, it looks sort of like an overdrive attack that you see in most sort of, combat action games.
Yeah, and you see her hair gets really long, like it's just flowing, her sort of outfit and her outline.
You can also see, let's go to the exact transformation again. You'll see the magic gauge kind of going to full.
Yeah, there you go.
So you can obviously use a bunch of powerful attacks in quick succession.
Yeah.
And this is awesome, I think, because it kind of shows how they're going for more of that presentation where you cut from gameplay to cutscene as opposed to, cutting away to a separate cutscene.
Yeah.
If you remember in the first game, those cutscenes were kind of in that film strip, kind of interesting animated.
Yeah. Not really moving, but the frame was moving, that kind of deal. Exactly.
So it looks like they're definitely trying to tie gameplay to story a bit more in this one.
Yep. And so now he has gone and summoned a boss from the original game. This is Fortitudo.
Let's get a good look at him.
Close.
It's probably the best look at him you'll see there. So he's one of the 4 virtues, one of the 4 main bosses that you're fighting in the first game.
Yeah, you'll recognize him from early on in that campaign.
So this is still the same battle, right?
Yeah, so she's still fighting up front while they're fighting in the background, which is just, it blew my mind.
And she summons out Madame Butterfly again.
That's right, yeah.
This is still the same battle, but that's not Fortitudo anymore, is it?
No, it looks like it's transformed into something else.
So is this possibly another stage of that boss battle? I mean, as we know with Platinum games, they really like to put multiple stages to their boss battles, keep upping the ante again and again and again.
It is super visually interesting. I mean, just because the fight is going on in the foreground, the fight is going on in the background. So good looking. So it looks really impressive. So here we have Jean, who you'll remember from the E3 demo. There was a mishap with a demon summoning, and Jean's spirit was pulled from her body and dragged down to Inferno.
So that's why we're going to the mountain.
Exactly. The whole story hinges around her trying to get Jean back.
And then one other quick thing to note, the director here is not Hideki Kamiya. Kamiya-san was the director of Bayonetta 1. Here you can see he's just the supervisor. Obviously, having his eyes on the project is really important, both for Platinum games, I'm sure, as well as for their fans. But we have a new director, Yosuke Hashimoto. If you're on Twitter and you want to learn more about the game, he's the guy to bug, not Kamiya-san.
Cool.
Just, good things to know so you don't end up getting blocked on Twitter.
There you go. So for more Bayonetta 2 coverage, make sure you keep it right here at IGN.